Hey, Leg Point, Pastor Mike here to get you caught up on the second week of our series, Teamwork Makes the Dream Work. In 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10, we read that God has given gifts to each of you from his great variety of spiritual gifts. He says, so manage them well so that God's generosity can flow through you. I mean, it's pretty cool to think about that. God has gifted you with a certain ability and wired you in a certain way. However, the reason God's done this is not for your own benefit, it's so that you can actually serve other people. Now, the first gift that Pastor Roy talked about when it comes to serving is the gift of mercy. And mercy is the capacity to feel and express unusual compassion, empathy, and sympathy for those in difficult situations and provide them with the necessary help and support to see them through those tough times. I mean, we all have seasons where we feel down and out and kind of barely hanging on. People with the gift of mercy, they often recognize this, and when they find out you're struggling, they don't just run the other way, they lean in, they clear their schedules, and they hear your pain. People with the gift of mercy seem to have a never-ending supply of kindness and patience and compassion for those that are broken and those that are in need. Now, with many of these gifts, there's something that we refer to as the shadow side of that gift. Basically, it's when the gift isn't being used properly and it becomes unhelpful. If you have the gift of mercy, you have to be careful to exercise wisdom as well. Because if you don't, you become the person that people will, sure, they'll vent to you, but they'll also gossip to you or complain to you. And because of your level of compassion, there will be a temptation to side with them without considering that there's always two sides to every story. If you have the gift of mercy, you need to be able to sit with people and cry with people, but also lead them towards not repeating some of the same mistakes. When Jesus met the woman at the well, he showed her extreme compassion, but then he lovingly called out her tendency towards unhealthy relationships, and he challenged her to live a better way. So if you have the gift of mercy, be sure to use wisdom in combination with your mercy to make sure that you don't become an enabler or a codependent. The next gift Roy took a look at was the gift of hospitality. Hospitality is the ability to welcome strangers and entertain guests, often in your home, with great joy and kindness so that they become friends. And hospitality is supposed to include someone's family, their friends, Christians, and strangers who may not be Christians. If you have the gift of hospitality, you love throwing parties. You often love the Food Network and trying out new recipes for others to try. You're the connector. You love getting people together. You love introducing people to others that you think they're going to click with. You're a matchmaker. If you're not sure if you have the gift of hospitality, or you might ask yourself this question: are you frozen in fear when you hear the doorbell ring? Do you immediately shut all the lights and yell for everyone to get down while you peek through the curtains to see who on earth would ever come to your door? If so, you probably don't have the gift of hospitality. But if the doorbell rings and that's exciting for you, that may be one of your gifts. And hospitality is an incredible gift because it makes people feel like they belong, like they're a part of God's family. It's one of the things that makes Lake Point so awesome is we have so many people with the gift of hospitality. The next gift of discernment is that discernment is the ability to quickly perceive whether such things as people, events, or beliefs are from God or from Satan. And those with this gift can quickly determine what's right and what's wrong, what's God-honoring, what's not, what's true and what's false. And if you don't have the gift of discernment, it's good to have people in your life that do. And a good practice, if you do have the gift of discernment, is that when you feel something is off with someone or something, take pause. Don't just jump in too quickly to judgment. Keep it on your radar, but let time and facts reveal the truth. The next gift is the gift of service, and service is the ability to joyfully work alongside others and help them complete the task God has given them. People with this gift generally prefer to work behind the scenes. They also tend to find joy in helping alleviate the burdens and responsibilities of others. This gift is usually accompanied with an attitude of humility and sacrifice, as well as an ability to perceive the needs of others. If you have the gift of service, a common phrase that goes past your lips is, "How can I help?" Now, the shadow side of the gift of service is that people with this gift rarely know how to use a little two-letter word. That word being the word no. But friends, if you say yes to everything, you will burn out and not be able to say yes to the right things. The next gift is the gift of administration. Administration is the giving direction and making decisions on behalf of others that result in efficient operation and the accomplishment of goals. Administration includes the ability to organize people, things, information, finances, and whatever else needs organizing. If you have this gift, you're efficient, you're ordered, you love schedules and budgets and agendas, and you love policies. Every organization or project needs people with these giftings. However, here's the shadow side. Those with the gift of administration sometimes get so bogged down with the details that they shy away from risk. But taking risk is a part of what it means to actually lead others. The next gift is the gift of giving. And giving is the ability to give money and other forms of wealth joyfully, wisely, and generously to meet the needs of others and help support ministries. In Jesus' teaching, roughly about 25% is about generosity, stewardship, and giving. Those with the gift of giving are always looking for places they can give to. Now, the shadow side of this gift is similar to the gift of service. You need to know when to actually say no. You might be a generous person, but a bad steward. You might be generous, but give to the wrong things, which is why it's important to seek God with where your generosity should actually go. The final gift Pastor Roy talked about is the gift of faith. And faith is the ability to envision what needs to be done and to trust God to accomplish it, even though it seems impossible to most people. People with the gift of faith have a quiet confidence in God. They are always the ones telling stories about how God has come through in the past and how he's going to come through again. People with the gift of faith they're great sleepers, meaning they don't stay up all night worrying because they truly believe God's got this. However, here's the shadow side. Don't use your faith as a reason to be irresponsible. You need to do your part and then have faith in God to do the rest. So friends, find your gifts because you've been gifted for the benefit of others. Enjoy jumping into the discussion questions. I'll see you next time. And remember, teamwork makes the dream work.